I've been thinking a lot lately about how worthless political commentary is becoming. The left is getting bolder. They're dropping the subtlety, either because they're not as good as their predecessors, or maybe they're feeling more desperate. Either way, the need for right wingers to spend so much energy on political commentary seems pointless. Politicians aren't breathlessly tuning in to Ben Shapiro to see what bills they should pass. They're not listening to Dana Lash and implementing her ideas. It's a waste of time. We're not going to vote our way out of this one anyways, so who cares? We can't change people's minds. And since the left just openly says what they believe now, what's the point in playing clips and going through and trying to decode what they say? It's pointless. It's all right there anyways. So I've been thinking, what do we need to do? What should the right be doing instead? Now, we don't know what's coming, and it could be anything, and it could be bad. But diversifying your portfolio with gold ain't gonna cut it. I guess priority numero uno should be to disillusion yourself of the thinking that voting will solve the problem. It's like the meme says, voting is the adult version of writing to Santa Claus. So all of the surrogate activities that voting involves are now off the table. We don't care about it, we don't like it, we see how it's flawed, and it's a waste of time, and so we need to prioritize other things. I would say if you have a gun, buy ammo. And if you don't have a gun, get a gun. Learn how to shoot that gun, and then go buy more ammo. You also need to evaluate your spiritual fitness, so when that moment comes to use that gun, you're not paralyzed in fear. These people have willingly destroyed our country, and they hate you and everything that you represent, and when the moment comes for them, they wouldn't hesitate, and neither should you. Our differences aren't on what the tax rate should be, or little things like that. This is a struggle for our country and our survival, and their side is currently winning it, and we need to view these people as the treasonous, pedophilic monsters that they are. I would recommend getting a bug-out bag. There's a million videos on YouTube on what to put in one, and I would work towards that. I'd recommend coming up with emergency plans with your family. I'd recommend stockpiling quite a bit of non-perishable food and water. We saw during COVID how weak the supply chain is, and when the crap hits the fan, it won't even exist. So the stockpile is good, but I would also work towards some sustainable food sources. I would move out of the city and find somewhere rural. This, of course, is best case scenario, and we all can't do that, but if you can, I would try. I would recommend buying a little survival book and learning some of the basics of how to rough it. You can put that in your bug-out bag or keep it at home. I would, whenever possible, buy physical media and not digital. If you have pictures of loved ones that you cherish, I would make sure I had those printed out somewhere safe. I would look into getting solar-powered equipment to power your electronics in case the grid goes down. You don't have to be a mechanic, but I would recommend learning how cars work and understanding the basic things a car needs in order to run. Fuel, air, spark, timing, compression. Do you really want to be that guy that can't even change a tire when the apocalypse hits? If you're into watching sports, get out of watching sports. It's a breeding ground for leftist propaganda, and the money that you feed into the system is used to destroy the country you love. Every major sports team and league is currently donating hundreds of thousands of dollars to trans the kids. At best, it's a way for the system to anesthetize you into being a docile little dork who refuses to fight back, and instead is focused on quarterback ratings. Imagine if every Sunday, instead of watching 10 hours of football, you read Elite Theory, or worked on your gun draw, or learned a survival trick. Imagine if we weaponized the autistic tendencies of people who play fantasy football and turn their attention on to learning key concepts of the dissonant right. If you can keep track of the stats of 32 different running backs, then you can learn about sovereign is he who makes the exception, or the friend-enemy distinction. It's not to say that there aren't things that you can do to ride the tiger, but watching sports has got to be one of the dumbest things you could possibly do. It's the boomer version of TikTok. It's poison for your brain. In general, I would find the appropriate level of prepper you feel you need to be. Everything I mentioned should be bare minimum, but it's up to you to decide how far you want to go. It just can't be nothing, because something is going to happen. It just is. History demands it, and so you owe it to yourself and your family to be somewhat prepared when that happens. We really don't know how long we have till the current system is dissolved. 10 years, 15 years, who knows? But either way, I would recommend using those years to prepare yourself for what's coming, and to largely ignore the trap of getting caught in the current event cyclone that the mainstream right uses to sell merch to you. We aren't in control of our government. That much is clear. They don't consider us or prioritize us or listen to us. Instead, they seem dead set on running this country into the ground, and we have no control over that. So let's focus on what we do have control over instead. Anyways, that's all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed this video and type of content I'm making, please leave this video a like or maybe subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.